Hello, this is a quick video just focusing on a niche market to see how you can use your web reputation to be found online. Before we begin, let me introduce myself, Dennis Raup from Membership Smart. I'm a web reputation expert and local internet marketing consultant. One of the things I'm really excited about is my latest book, Dennis Raup's Never-Ending Source of Local Leads. 74 pages chock full of my best insider secrets how to be found online. So using the Dennis, I'm using my hometown here, Rochester, as an example. Probably quite familiar with the Google Maps, now Google Plus Local it's called. And if you haven't been on the page in a while for your niche and your location, do you notice anything different? Yeah, what graphically pulls out for most people are these 1 through 5 star ratings. These are reviews that people have done through the Google Plus account for their experience with each dentist. For those who haven't been on for a while, you may be familiar with a Zagat rating that was there before. It was a kind of a confusing 1 through 30 scale. And now with the 1 through 5 star reputation scale, it's much more understandable and recognizable. So why is this important? Well, the slide says a lot here. Biggest marketing shifts ever. Well, it's hard to believe, but the folks at Nielsen who monitor the TV and advertising trends so diligently did a recent study that was pretty landmark. Not a surprise here, the first conclusion, recommendations from people I know, 92% of people trust that completely or somewhat. What really popped in the study was the second one, customer opinions posted online. Nearly 3 out of 4 people feel that way now about posted online reviews. What's even more significant is the gap between that and other traditional forms of advertising. Could be editorial reports in a newspaper or even branded website that you've poured a lot of money into. People don't trust that nearly as much as they do consumer opinions. In fact, a lot of the research shows that people go right to reviews before they go to any other online platform, including social media or a website. Few can argue the impact of being in the top page 1 rankings for your local niche on Google Maps. But what's significant about this web reputation finding is that you can leapfrog your competition by doing that. Let me illustrate that quickly, how that can happen. Let's say I'm in line at the local grocery store or working out with my buds and I need to find a new dentist. I just moved and I find out that they have had a good experience with Dr. Susan Bracker that you see here. What am I going to do first? Am I just going to call Susan and make an appointment? No, I'm probably going to search for her. So if I say Dr. Susan Bracker, look what pops up. Under Google Suggest and most common browsers that are used, Dr. Susan Bracker Review shows up. Interesting. Let's click on that. And here I would see a page full of different places where she has been rated. And I can quickly see just by visual scan a 1 through 5 rating, as well as her own Google Plus score here. So it's quite powerful because 1 out of 3 Google searches are direct entered searches, meaning people don't search for Rochester dentist, they search for the specific name or website. So that means that anyone who has a positive 4 or 5 star review can leapfrog your competition who are not tracking their reviews. As you know, those that are not found on page 1 for a Google search of any kind, especially maps, local maps, are rarely found. But we're going to continue this just for the grins of it. We'll go down to let's go to page 3, kind of deep in the search results for Rochester dentist. And here's a dentist, Dr. Mark Groskin. Let's take a look at Dr. Mark Groskin. I'm going to do the same thing. Let's say I was introduced to him at my workout place or at the soccer field. There he is, Dr. Mark Groskin, Rochester, New York. So I'm going to click on him. And when I go here, look at the difference of the scan. There's a couple stars that show up visually on the page, but not as much as Dr. Susan. Why is that? Well, the way it shows up for Google, you have to have at least 5 reviews to have the 5-star rating show up. And Dr. Groskin, unfortunately, is just 1 review short. So what's the answer to this? Well, obviously more reviews. But not any reviews. We want 5-star reviews. If you go back to the findings that we had in the research of what people trust, you want 4 or 5-star ratings so that people gravitate to you and are more apt to trust you and click on your listing, whether that's a Google Plus, a website, a blog, really anything that has your rating next to it. The last thing I want to point out is Susan Bracker dentist reviews, if you remember that page we looked at. The other thing besides the actual stars that you see filling up her page is the large number of local directories that are used now that are quite popular for people to search for different services. The upshot is, if you're not listed, you're probably not being found by your local prospects. With these significant changes in web reputation being reported by Google, here are 3 critical questions every small business owner should be asking. The first is, how current am I about what reviews are out there, both positive or negative, online? How well do I know what directories are best for my niche, and am I registered on them? And third, am I committed to become a 5-star reputation company? If you want to find out how you're doing on the first 2 questions and how to succeed on the third one, you'll want to go to my free patent pending report on web reputation. Just simply go to webreputationnow.info. Thanks for your time.